looking for a way to store tickets, photos, notes, or other keepsakes inside a journal, notebook, or scrapbook, these two expandable pocket designs might be just what you need. I actually use them in my handmade travel journals, but they would work just as well for memory keeping, junk journals, sketchbooks, scrapbook albums, or other paper crafting projects. Today I'll show you how I make both versions. Hi, I'm Joanna. Welcome back to my missredfox paper art channel. It's all about bookbinding and paper crafts for beginners here. The measurements that I'm using are based on the size of this particular journal, but you can easily adapt them to fit your own notebooks or journals. Let's start with the envelope. The finished size of mine is about 9.5 by 7 centimeters. The envelope is made from the same paper as the cover, and I really like doing this because everything matches perfectly then. You'll also notice that I've marked my template with a large letter A. This helps me orient the template correctly on the paper before cutting, because most of the time I use maps for these travel journals, and with map it's especially important that the text and the details are facing the right way once the envelope is folded and attached to the cover. So this is the part that I'm seeing here. This would be this one, and the flap is here, and these have to be positioned correctly. For this envelope I'm using a simple T-shape cardstock template. It actually looks more complicated than it is, but I will show you how to draw it yourself. I will start with a long vertical strip, so this one, which has 4 sections. The first one will be the flap, is about 2 centimeters high, and the other ones are 3 identical rectangles of each 7 centimeter height. This one will become the flap, so I find the middle here, and from a specific height, doesn't matter, I draw 2 lines and then we'll cut away these parts. And I will finally add 2 flaps to the side. They are both 4.5 centimeters wide and will be divided afterwards in 3 equal parts to make accordion-like folds from them. And once you've made a template, you can of course reuse it or adapt it to the size that you need. After I've placed my template where I want it to be and take care that the direction of this A is the direction of the pattern, sometimes I trace with a pencil around it and then cut with the scissors, or if I use a darker paper, I will cut directly with my blade around the edges of the template. Once the piece is cut out, I start by rounding this corner of the front flap. Then I turn this over and will fold this flap first. I can use a ruler and align it with the edges of the side flaps, but a bit lower than this line. And then I can glue it. This creates a smooth fold edge instead of a raw paper edge, and it looks cleaner like this, but also make the envelopes more durable because the edge won't tear as easily over time. Then I will fold these flaps. I can use a ruler, but I prefer a set square to keep everything straight and square, and I will align it with this edge and with this one a little bit to the inside, because this one has a thickness itself, and then flap this over and fold. And the same on the other side. And now I need to divide this into thirds, so they are each about 4.5 centimeters wide, and I will fold them into 3 sections of 1.5 centimeters. And I can either eyeball the flap and then try to fold it by hand in thirds, or I can use my metal ruler, which is exactly 1.5 centimeters wide, and it helps me as a guide and I can work much faster. But I have to start like this and then fold over the ruler and then back again, and the same on this side. And now it looks like this. Then I go and fold the rest using the set square again to keep my edges straight and my angles right angled. And then I fold this over. And then here. Check that everything is correct. And now I can glue. One here. And one here. And I'm finished. To attach the envelope, I will use double-sided tape rather than glue, and I will apply it on the back side, on all 4 edges, and a little bit in the middle. The next step would be to glue this onto the cover, but I won't do this today because this journal is still a work in progress, and I will show you how this envelope and the pocket are incorporated into the finished travel journal in the next video. But to make sure that the envelope ends up in the right position on the cover, I use a simple positioning template with a cutout for the envelope. So I would place it on the cover and then see that the pocket is exactly in the middle. And when I make journals for my shop, I then like to place 3 small pieces of the journal paper inside this envelope, so that way the new owner can test pens and inks or markers before writing directly into the journal. Now let's move on to the larger expandable pocket. This one goes inside the back cover, as you can see, and I use it for larger items like folded maps, brochures, postcards, travel information, or anything I want to keep together while traveling. If you've been around for a while, you may have seen this pocket before. I showed the assembly process in one of my shorts a while ago, but didn't talk through the construction, so that's what we are doing today. The size of this finished pocket is based on the size of the cover, and I will construct it from a larger rectangle into smaller ones. So if this is my large rectangle, the height of it is approximately the height of the cover here. So in my case, 19.5 centimeters from here to here. And the width is roughly double the width of the cover, plus 2 flaps of 2 centimeters each. So I have 31.5 centimeters in total. These flaps will be folded to the inside of the pocket, so here, and create a cleaner finish without exposed edges. So this is my larger rectangle, 31.5 by 19.5, and I will start by folding it in half. Then open it again. And now I have to create the folds here, the flaps. And for this I can either use a spacer that I made from cardboard or a ruler and place it here at the edge and then score with my bone folder and then turn this over. And then I can repeat this on this side, or I can just close this and score along this edge and fold this again. And now what I like to do is to open the pocket and place these two flaps over each other and then cut a bit from their corners, so they will fit better over these accordion flaps. Now for the accordion flaps, this is 13 and this is 14, and I will start by folding this in half, turn it over and then fold again, and again on the other side. And then I have something like a W or like an M, as you like it. And then repeat with the next one. Fold in half, and again, and again. So these are now 13 centimeters by 3.5, because we had 14 centimeters here and we have 4 pieces now. And now after folding these, I will glue them between the front and the back sides of the pocket. I will start by applying glue on one of these sides. Doesn't matter which one. And here's the glue. And what I do, I have it like this and place it here at the edge between those two lines. And then repeat with this one. So my glue is here. Like this. And now I can glue this over. And this gives me a soft, clean edge. Now I turn it around, apply glue here and here, and fold this. Then I have glue here. And this is it. Just like with the envelope, I will attach the finished pocket using double-sided tape. And again, I will apply tape around all 4 edges and a bit in the middle for extra strings. Because this pocket can hold quite a lot, I want to make sure it's firmly attached to the cover. And again, because my covers are not finished yet, I won't glue this now, but I will show you in the next video how I do this. And that's it. These are the 2 expandable pockets that I mostly use in my travel journals. And I really love traveling, so I always come home with far too many tickets and maps and brochures and little paper souvenirs. But most of my paper souvenirs eventually end up alongside with pictures and coins and other little objects in shadow box framed collages like these. And I actually have a blog post showing how I make them. It's in German, but I'll leave a link in the description in case you'd like to have a look, and you can translate it if needed. But while traveling, this pocket and this envelope is a great place to keep everything together and organized. And you can even make more of them and place them on cardstock pages throughout your journal. I hope these 2 ideas inspire you to add some practical storage to your notebooks, journals, and scrapbooking projects. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like this tutorial, and stay tuned for more bookbinding videos. Happy crafting!